Hello everyone, I'm back with another Reddit Addicts episode. If you find my videos entertaining, please kindly subscribe and like them. Thanks to everyone for your suggestions and kind notes. Now, let's get started with today's exciting stories.
My girlfriend of 6 years cheated on me. My 24F GF cheated on me, 25M, after 6 years. She works at a small cafe and is pretty close with her coworkers. There was one guy, another coworker, we will call him Jim, that her other coworkers teased her about since the beginning, saying she would be cute with him, etc. She told me about this, and we laughed because it was so ridiculous, and they knew she was in a relationship. Fast forward a few months, he doesn't work there anymore, as he was only part-time, so he wasn't there much anyways. For some background information, me and my girlfriend have always been extremely loyal to each other. We've had an overall healthy relationship and great communication. We are best friends and have been really content with each other. We resolve any issues that we have with each other all the time, so this came to a giant surprise to me. One of her coworkers is seemingly toxic, from what I've been told from my GF. I'll call this coworker Jenny. She's 21. She's a girl who likes to party and do drugs, hook up with guys, etc., which is fine, but my GF is the opposite, so I found it interesting. My GF had been warned about this girl from her other friends because they said she's fake. My GF stayed on good terms with Jenny since they are coworkers and would sometimes hang out with her at bars or house parties. Anyways, my girlfriend had a birthday party at a bar a month ago. It was a party where she invited all of her coworkers. I didn't go because I didn't know her coworkers, and it would be awkward because I don't really know them. I wanted to go, but I just took my girlfriend's word for it because I trust her and am not super into socializing anyways. I had fallen asleep and she came home around 2 a.m., went to bed, and things were fine. She wakes up early, hungover, and tells me she made a mistake. I start getting anxiety because I knew exactly what she meant. She told me she kissed somebody at the bar, and that's the only details she had given me. Later that day, she finally confessed it was her old coworker, Jim. The one she had been teased about previously, and she has known him for like a year at this point. I was insanely hurt because cheating hurts, lol. She is not that kind of girl, and I was super surprised this had happened. She gave me more details about Jim, and apparently he had flirted with her a handful of times, at work parties and at work in general. She told me that he showed up at the party, and then things just went from there. I believed her. After having my doubts about what she said, I ended up looking in her phone for a solid 2 minutes. I looked at the messages between my GF and Jenny because I had my suspicions about this girl, and I'm pretty glad I did. I found out that my GF actually invited Jim to her party at the bar. Jenny had told her to invite him, so my GF did. She was saying things like, he said yes. I'm so nervous, I'm so excited, etc. So essentially, what I'm thinking is, I was lied to about this entire situation to save my feelings. Once I confronted her for these texts, she was so regretful and really upset about what she did. She cried and apologized over 100x and talked about how I'm the only guy she wants. I know it was wrong of me to look in her phone, but I had a gut feeling something was off with this entire situation. I know she regrets what she did so much, and it's hard to see her upset, but I am deeply hurt by what she did. It's not even the kiss itself, it's the deception and lying to my face and planning something behind my back what hurts the most. We have had a great relationship, and it is really upsetting to see what it's become. We've talked so many times about this situation, and she has pleaded for my forgiveness, but this is not the first time she's hurt me. She hasn't cheated in the past, but she has done some things that have made me feel betrayed by her, and this whole situation sucks. TLDR, girlfriend kissed one of her coworkers at a bar, confessed to me the morning after, but lied to me about how it happened. I looked in her phone and found out that she invited him to her party, but her previous story was that he showed up because he knew everyone there. Story 2. Me, 30M, my girlfriend, 27F, of 6 years cheated on me. I was in a good, stable relationship for 6 years. We just went away and had an amazing time. We'd spoken about the idea of marriage, children, etc. She never gave me any reason to distrust her before. But when I got back from a trip away with a friend, she confessed she'd kissed and fumbled around with a guy from her work. This guy has been sniffing around her for months, probably 6+ months. The first time I met him, he said something to her that I thought was dodgy, but only I and someone else heard it, something like "You're amazing." I didn't think much to it as he was plastered. So the coming months they get really close as friends. She talks about him all the time, saying how funny he is, but also saying how weird looking he is, and how he can't get a girlfriend because he's a bit weird, things like that. He is weird looking. They go out drinking together with others as colleagues, but it always seems to be them the last out. She even brought him back to stay in our spare room a few times. Once I opened the door to see her naked from the bottom down, getting close off the drying rack in the spare room, and he peeped his head from behind the door. She claimed that was an accident and she pulled her top down to cover everything and just needed to get something. I was pretty angry about this, because I wouldn't dream of doing something like that and expect to get away with it. They continue the same though, going out for dinner. I brought it up that I thought it was inappropriate and she accused me of not letting her have male friends, which isn't true, but this felt creepy to me. I suspected he was trying to drive a wedge between us and was being opportunistic. I even thought at some point she's going to come home and tell me he tried it on and she'll know I was right. Then that did happen, but she was so drunk that for whatever reason she went along with it. She claims not to remember anything about it, or any of what happened after, so I don't know if it really ended there, only that she went home shortly after, so this happened in the street somewhere. Classy. Whilst she's never given me any reason to distrust her before, I feel like this chain of events is actually so fucked up looking back that I don't think I should forgive her. She's really upset. She feels awful and she isn't a bad person. She's clearly got a drinking problem and has said she would quit for good. But I just don't believe a word she says anymore. I think the most difficult part is she can't tell me why she did it. She can't remember what was going through her head. I don't know if she's being genuine or she's not telling me something. She also claims she feels sick at the thought of it and doesn't like him at all. Which is even more of a mystery. We always told each other that if one of us cheated, that would be it. I was really clear about that. So she does, with someone she doesn't even like. I'd understand if she had an office crush on him that spilled over. I've never cheated on her. I'd been in situations where I could have done, and I left those situations because I felt it wasn't appropriate to be there anymore. I get the impression some people think I'm overreacting, or that it's just a blip. But a relationship shouldn't be made up of blips where you fundamentally shatter the trust of the other person. Am I overreacting? Was the precursor to the main event creep AF? Thoughts appreciated. I could kill him and never see her again happily as it is.
We hope you enjoyed this story. Thanks for watching and hope to see you in the next video. And before you go, please be sure to subscribe for more.